counterpart for intimacy, right? Intimacy is not sexual. Intimacy is joining of two souls. Many people think that the best way to join two souls is through sex. I think the best way to join souls is through friendship and through God. Because there's going to come a time when that person may not be able to satisfy you sexually, and you may not even want. I've talked to older couples who don't have sex as often, happy as the day is long. Old people holding hands. I'm up there in Walmart, taking forever to get through the self-checkout because y'all want to hold hands and stuff. That's beautiful, but I got somewhere to go, right? But the crazy thing about it is that we have made sex 80%, friendship 20%. When you flip it, those type of relationships last longer. That's why, when it comes to the need for sex, that's what happens when you wake in love before it's time. When you waking up something that your body's not mature enough to handle, now you're saying, that's like when you're exposed to sex or you're exposed to sexual things, all of a sudden now you're like, okay, I've opened myself up to a whole new world. Now all of a sudden now I'm like, well, now my body's expecting it. That's why the body was never meant to be led on its own. It's supposed to be led by the Spirit. But when your body's leading everything, you move by every feeling. Oh, I feel sexual. I got to go find somebody and get this off of me. That's not the case. But if you're practicing being led by the Spirit, which is difficult, it's difficult when you live the bulk of your life being led by your desires versus being led by God. It's difficult to make that switch. But once you make that switch, it's beneficial. Now, all of a sudden, what used to have you don't even seem appealing anymore. All of a sudden, the one thing you thought you would never be able to get over, and I talk to people who deal with sexual stuff, because people ask me, how did you get over porn? I say, right now, porn has no effect on me now. It doesn't. But it did. But the good thing about it is I began to be like, I cannot overlook that God is still at work. I cannot sit here and say, well, I'm okay, I made it. When people say they made it, their fall is soon to come. Because if you think that you made it, all of a sudden it takes that one girl. That's why I never brag about I'm going to wait till marriage. I'm not going to sit there and boast about something that I don't know what tomorrow holds, because the devil loves to package the right thing to bring you away. The girl you never thought would like you. Let a celebrity that you used to like come up and knock on your door talking about, I saw your Instagram. Let them fall into your DMs. Let Lorenz Tate come in your DM talking about fouling. I like your blouse and your 46 picture. When I scrolled down, I saw that picture, and I want to talk to you. Listen, the devil will build it too. If he build it, he'll make you come sometime. He'll draw you to it. You got to make sure you get to a place where you say, I'm not moved by anything, even if it's sex or sexual things. Because sex is as potent as a nuclear reactor. Sex is as potent as a lion without a cage. Sex is that powerful. It is potent. Sexual things is potent. That's why the Bible says when you do things of lust, you're not damaging someone else, you're damaging yourself. Because you're giving people access. Do you not know that that man would never forget how you looked undressed? That woman would never get that snapshot out of his mind or her mind of you? You're giving people access to you. But the thing about it is that keeps you from making those mistakes again. Because if you're still insecure and you're just letting yourself go within that, listen, man, do we ever, why are we giving people benefits who haven't met requirements? Giving people benefits and they ain't got the job yet. You giving health insurance, dental insurance for someone that ain't passed the requirements? That's why the Bible says there's order to life. He does everything in decency and order, and you giving people all of you before they give them even an ounce of them. And that's the sad thing about life. We're so insecure, we're so lonely, and we allow all that pressure to make us say, you know what, here's my benefits. You don't got to meet no requirements. And when you do that, that person, why do you think people, men don't stay long with women that freely give themselves to them? Because he didn't have to work for it. If he works for it, he's going to stay there for his investment. If you give him sex on day 2, the chase is over. The gazelle is dead. The lion is hungry. The lion's full. He's good. But when you make that man say, you know what, wow, and that's why women get upset. Well, I got to kind of give myself away a little bit because when I'm at this level of womanhood, they seem to be flocking. Listen, when you're a Bentley, when a Bentley's parked when a Bentley can't get upset if no one purchases it for months because of its price. Anybody can go buy a Honda. Anybody can go get a Civic. Anybody can get a hoopty off internet. But a Bentley can't get upset and say, well, I've been in this showroom for months and no one wants to purchase me. A person has to be able to pay for the maintenance, to be able to pay to have it. And a lot of women are selling themselves short. And so everybody's getting Hondas. But the Bentley's over here is getting upset. Well, what about me? But when the right person comes and has enough money to not only buy it, but to sustain it, that's when you're happy. It's worth the wait. Listen, when a person walks to a Bentley dealership that don't look like they need to be there, they get no play. Nobody's gonna be like, yo, you here to buy a Bentley? Listen, if you don't got the money, they're gonna be like, why are you in our showroom? And sometimes you gotta let your life sit on the showroom of God and let God keep you there until someone who's sent by him is willing to not only purchase you, now that sounds so bad, not only to receive you, but to keep you. Because if a man can get it cheap, it's easy to toss away. You make a man work for it, that man gonna be like, I guess she's a good one. But a lot of men are not willing to work for those type of women. So don't count it strange when those men, when you go through a season of isolation and scarcity. But there's gonna be a man that's gonna be like, she's worth the pursuit. Not only she's worth the wait, she's worth the pursuit. Because what I get when I get her is 10 times better than any other chicken head out here. Yeah, man. Add something to it. Against your own body. Yep. Do you know how many people got so many people in them? Like, you don't, you get so much, like, sex and like just having a conversation, just getting a bond with a person, you can get stuff. Just by touching someone, spirits can transfer. So imagine what happens in sexual intercourse. It's much more than just bodies coming together. It's souls mended. It's minds mended. And all of a sudden now, that person is coming inside of you. Because when you have sex with someone, you're becoming one. It's like puzzle pieces coming together. And when that happens, ultimate transfers happen. Because you're so emotionally vulnerable, you're physically vulnerable, and now you got to go through 2 to 3 weeks of deliverance just to get Jimmy, Johnny, and Joseph out of you, to get Kelly, Susie, and Martha out of you. I don't even know why you're dating a Martha, but you got to get Martha out of you too. But see, until you are delivered, you can't walk in freedom. And so many people are selling themselves short. It ain't worth it. I don't got to worry about no baby mamas. If I make it big, I don't got nobody talking about I need $25,000 a year. I mean a month. I don't got to worry about none of that. I don't got to worry about no STDs. I don't got to worry about none of that stuff. No worry. If anyone's going through that, hey, God can heal. No shade. But from this moment on, you can do what's right. It's better to say, you know what? I'm not letting nobody in, nor am I going to go in anybody. I'm going to chill and be with God, because you can be pure from this day forward. You can be pure again no matter how your past looks. Mm-hmm.